Good morning, folks. This morning's shave is going to be with Proraso Green. This is the Eucalyptus Menthol One, and this is my very first tub. Excuse me. And as you can see, I've used a little bit of it. Oh, I'd venture to say if you look at the tub, I'm about halfway or a little bit more. This is my favorite, and I do have another one when this one runs out. Oh, and it comes, this is a 5.2 ounces or 150 milliliter. I just love this soap. And here is the alum block without the rubber band. I'm going to be following up with the unscented witch hazel that's methylated. And I also have the matching aftershave here to go right along with it. My Cremo beard oil. This is the tea tree mint one, and I am, the best I can tell, about halfway through this 1 ounce bottle here. I do use a wee bit of beard oil. This shave, oh, I should show that I've got it whipped up here with an ever ready brush. This came by the way of Frank Strike Gold Shaves. Yeah, he's got an Etsy page. He's got straight razors and all kinds of goodness, and he'll restore vintage shave brushes. There we go. Getting tongue-tied here. I have a whole bunch of stuff set out here, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with it. I don't have an example of all the Schick Injector shavers, but I do have a few, and I'll start with the ones that I have here. This one here is what I believe to be an E model, or type, that is. There's differences in between the E's and the G's and keeping them all straight. Yeah, I am not an expert. I do have a link down below to help with identifying what model you may have. This helps with, for me, to help identify. Typically the way I look at it is if it's got that flap there, that means it's a E model. It's an older model. That's how I keep it straight in my head. And then I have this one here that looks very much like it. And both of them say Schick Injector, and if you'll notice, if you have a few of these, they'll start out with that, and then the naming convention changes a little bit. But this one here on top looks like, I don't think it came from the factory that way. I think it was modified, maybe, by a previous owner. It's smooth, but it's not quite as shiny as this one here. But shaves just fine. I'm just not real sure why this handle ended up being shorter than this one here. And then, okay, that looks like this. Now this one here says Eversharp Schick. This one made in Canada. This is the one on top, but you can kind of see the flap is not there. So I'm thinking this is a G model, or G type, if you will. And let's see here. Another telltale sign. There are marks that are going across here, grooves, and these are at random, if you will. And this is what I think is the E type. This one here I believe to be the G type, also because these are more uniform in the grooves going across the safety bar there. And just one of those things, a telltale sign. This one here with the shorter handle, yeah, those grooves cross safety bar are kind of random there. Just little things here and there. I enjoy these shavers. E, G, take your pick. I like both of them. To me, they're the easiest for somebody to start out with. As it goes for finding angles, really easy. I just enjoy the heck out of them. Let's see here. Another G model. G, I think there's like 8 versions. Yeah, try to keep up with all that. Here's another one. This handle is slightly different. There's one that's very similar to this, but this one's just slightly different than Hydromatic, I believe it is. And as it goes right here in the print, it says Eversharp Schick. But pretty good example of another Schick Injector, especially with the short handle. I have this one over here. Now this one here, this is where things get fuzzy because, oh, I should say, this one here says Schick Injector, and Schick is right here, and I doubt if you'll be able to see it, but it's in a smaller font type than like some of the others would be all consistent, uniform in the printing. This one here is not the best of shape, but shaves just fine. But you notice right here, it's got the flap, but on the safety bar right here, the grooves are uniform. So is it an E? Is it a G? I don't know. Shaves great though. May not be the prettiest in the world, but what you see up here does not affect the shave at all. Really like these older Schick injectors. They a very well made, thought out design, and in that they give such great shaves. This one here doesn't have the flap, and it does say Eversharp Schick right here, and I believe this is what they refer to as a 66 model. This is a dark cobalt or navy blue handle. You notice that the color is silver, and it's also textured on the head. And yeah, we do have the uniform grooves going across there. But another one of these that I'm really happy to have one of these. Thought I was lucky to get this one. Okay, yes, another one. This one here is one of those that I keep put away, stored. However it came, in other words, it's still got soap on it and whatnot. I kept it that way. But I got this quite some time when I first started, was excited as I'll get out to get it. This is a Schick Injector, and you can kind of see the sticker here. It's got $5 on it, but yeah, it doesn't matter which one. You can see on the original though, it was $1, and it comes with 20. It came with 20 blades when it was original. Had a 20-year warranty, and just really thought that just the box alone, you know, just provides an awful lot of information, history. Something I really enjoy is history, especially when it comes to wet shaving, because face it, we guys have been trying to shave for a good long while and trying to get a good shave. Inside the box, this is what it looks like. So you can see that. Now, whether this particular shaver came in this box new like this, I couldn't tell you one way or the other. Just kind of happy to get it. You can see that it's got the flap there, and once again there's those uniform lines going across the safety bar, and yeah, there's plenty of soaps built up right there. Can't read exactly what it says there, but this is one that I decided, at least at the time, maybe one day I might clean it up. I had never used this one. Thought maybe sometimes history, it's just best to leave it like it is rather than to clean it up. I might change my mind one day, decide to use it, but right now it's going to stay that way. And it came with instructions also. To me, that just makes it worth an awful lot, at least to me. For other folks it may not be so much, but for me, when you get the instructions, the original ones that came with an injector, it's like, you know, that's just pretty cool. I have once again, I do have a link down below, more or less concerning the, I guess you might say, a little bit of a history with the Schick injectors, as well as being able to help you identify what injector type you may have. But yeah, this box here is just, it's me, the box is worth quite a bit. Instructions, that's just awesome. Now I guess you might say moving up to the newer ones, if you will. I'll save the one I'm going to shave with today, I'll save it for last. I think the next year's after that was, these are Eversharp Hydromatics, and I got a couple of them here in a case. Of course, you know, the case being rather old and scratched up and whatnot, but these shavers, I guess you might say, will lean more towards the modern era when it comes to Schick injectors. You kind of see where this handle's designed is very similar to this one, but this one here, so there's a kind of tell the design here it's different. This handle's also longer, but you can kind of see the underside of this one where there's a big change. Besides how the head is made on this side, it's how it looks on the underside. Once again, shaves just really just fine. I love all these Schick injectors. Here's another one, just like the one you just saw, except for it's just got a black handle. I don't know for sure what the, I don't recall reading if that makes a big difference. I probably should show you this again. That's what it looks on the underside right there. And I'll show you what this one over here. This one here, I wonder if it's in the proper container, because this one here doesn't say Hydromatic on it, and this one here says Eversharp Hydromatic on it, and the underside looks like this, where the spring is at. You lift this lever right here, might be best to show it this way, and that drops down. Makes it a whole lot easier to clean out through there. These ones I showed you before, not the easiest to clean in there. A lot of hot water and Q-tips, and it takes a wee bit to get them cleaned up without having that feature to it. So whether these are in the proper cases or not, I think this one here is, since it does say it on the shaver, of course then in the case, but this one here, I don't know if it's in the right case or not, but it fits and looks good. I think the next ones after that, model-wise, I think are these. This one here says Schick Safety Razor. This comes with a longer handle. This one here's got gold plating. Really nice shaver. I've shaved with this one. It really just awesome shaves with these. Here's another one. This one here is the Golden 500. Black handle. And if I remember right, yeah, that black handle is a wee bit longer than the white one here. And once again, this one here comes with that feature where you lift up this little lever and the safety bar drops down. Awesome. Great feature. It is too bad they quit putting that in there, because it makes it so much easier to clean. As it goes for the, I don't have one with a tennis racket, but I do have this one. This one here, the underside, there's a spring, and that's what the knob looks like, gear shifter. And I don't know if you can see that or not. Excuse me. It's printed right there on the head. Thought that's pretty cool. It just sticks Schick. Just a novelty type thing, if you will. Shaves like the rest of them, but you know, gotta have one, right? I save what I'm shaving with last. I don't have, this is a N-type, or yeah, N-type. This one here's got a longer, slender handle, and I don't know, it's also printed right there from Schick Injector. That's what the head looks like. If I'm not mistaken, this one here takes twin blades. I don't have any twin blades, but you can use a single blade in it and shave with it, just like that. I've shaved with this one also. Now with the one I'm shaving with today, with what Phoenix came out with, I'll show these two first. This is the one I'm shaving with today. Kind of see what it looks like. This one here has just happened to have 3 of this particular kind. That's what the underside looks like. Kind of tell the end of that handle is made this way. So this one here says Schick. You can kind of see what it says there. This one looks an awful lot like it. Handles look the same. But this one here, the print up here where it says Schick is different than this one. So same model, different years. That's the reason why it's printed like that. That would be my guess. This is the one I'm going to be shaving with today. But then Then I have one that looks like this. Slightly different, but they look like the same shaver, just different years perhaps. That would be my guess. Now that I've done that, if you get one from Phoenix, it comes in a box that's going to look like this. It's going to have a sticker here telling you that there's already a blade loaded in it. And mine came with a sample also, so don't be surprised if you do get a sample with yours. There you go. I mean, just it's such a very close representation of the Schick Injector. And put them side by side here. You can kind of tell. Now tomorrow I'll shave with this one here from Phoenix. I'm going to do a comparison. As much as I hate to do these sort of things, I'm going to take this blade out because the blades that I am using, I'm going to be using the same blades that come out of here. This particular one came from Supply. I have a Supply injector. It is the most favorite injector that I have, especially in the modern times. And then if you'll notice the closeness here, here's a Persona Mini Hair Shaper Blade dispenser, and then here's the one I got from Supply. You can tell they're awfully close. The dispensers are, at least. At any rate, in order to make it a fairly decent comparison, I'm going to use the same blade from the same dispenser, so I'll take this blade out. Much as I hate to do such a thing, I will do that. And speaking of injectors, these are not Schick injectors. I've got one sitting. Oh, almost forgot. I guess you might say if there was a Schick injector that I'm also very happy to have in the den, it is this one here. This one here is a fantastic shape. Even comes with the case. I thought, oh, I got to have this one. It just looks awesome. So if you were, how can you say, not liking the shave you were getting with some of the others, an adjustable just might be what you're looking for. I waited a long time to get this adjustable. This one, not only this adjustable here, but the PAL adjustable. Here, this is another one. Just really happy to get one of these. PAL came, I guess you might say, a little bit later on. If I remember right, patent started to expire with Schick, and so PAL was able to, I guess you might say, make their own versions. You can kind of tell the handle here. It's got some plastic down here at the bottom. Got the adjustments on the top, and it's got a L for low, H for high, and you got your notches in between. Maybe kind of hard to see the PAL right up in there. Just even with the plastic here, this does weigh a little bit. This is not a lightweight shaver. Once again, just very happy to be able to find some of these. You know, you look forever on eBay. You just keep looking, and eventually all of a sudden, ah, looky there, it finally shows up. Now they're wanting a mint for it. They want all of your wallet, not just part of it. I'm going to move some of this out of the way. I've already put a hot towel to the face, not that it matters this length of time afterwards now. And I've got shavers everywhere. I think I'm going to move some more out of the way. One day, next, I don't know, a couple of weeks maybe, I will, I have a custom that I have, custom injector. You may have seen me shave with it before. I've got a couple of videos with it. It's got a brass handle. It's awesome. What can I say? Here's the cube here. I'll go ahead and wet the face and get started. Hopefully that'll kind of, how can you say, if you got a passion for injectors and you're just starting out, after tomorrow's shave we'll be able to find out about PHNX's injector. He does mention, you know, and I do understand what he's saying, because some of these injectors are, they're old, they've been used. Some of them have been used quite a bit. And with that use, there's going to come some wear. There was an episode that Matt and Douglas did, I'd Rather Be Shaving, and they did a little bit on the injectors. It would be the first season, by the way, if you want to hunt it down. Kind of help narrow it down. And they were talking about the injectors, and if I remember right, it might have been the version with the 66 model. And sometimes what it is that this spring right here, over time, of course, you know, it's going to show some signs of wear, and this where your safety bar is at might be loose. And Matt was mentioning that you could, it's still usable, is if you know how to bend this inwards to help provide the tension that it needs in there, it won't rattle anymore. But you know, that's just an example of a vintage injector that over time will start to show signs of wear. And if you know how to make that necessary adjustment there, I can say it'll be like new. It won't be new, but it'll be like new. Being able to provide that tension back in there like it needs to be. One thing loading these injectors, Steve Hardy also mentioned in one of his videos, it's an age-old thing. All these injectors, as far as I know, at some point in time when I've used them and was messing around with them, when you put the key in, you go to push the blade through, you have to pay attention that hopefully that you can get it, because sometimes it's not always possible, because by the time it finally moves, it moves all at one time. But if you can get it to slide through at a slow pace to make sure that it goes in straight and up towards the top, and then when you pull the key out, it'll come together and hit those hooks or stops right down here. You don't want your blade running across those stops when you're inserting it, because if you do, your blade is going to be dull. And that's just the quirk about the nature of these injectors, is that you got to pay close attention when you put that blade in to make sure it doesn't run across there. And sometimes they may get in there a little bit crooked, which may, as long as it's not running across the stop, it'll be fine, because when you pull the key out and it comes back together, it'll all straighten itself back out. I've had a few that'll come in at an angle, and I just pay attention when I put it in to make sure it's not hitting those stops. Otherwise your shave's going to suck. I'm just going to tell you. Once again, boy, this is menthol, eucalyptus, in our area we've got a little bit of rain. Some got more than others, but we're looking at some end up with 5-7 inches of rain. This area I'm in, weather when it came through was not consistent through the whole area, which is nothing uncommon for Oklahoma. I didn't get quite the weather that a number of other people did. There are a few trees here and there that received some damage from the winds and whatnot, but overall, not bad. Not a whole lot of flooding over here where I'm at. Not complaining either. Go ahead and wet the shaver and get started here. This one here, as it goes for the handle and its design, I do like I didn't think I would, but I do like the shorter handled ones. Makes it easier for me to put my, if you got bigger hands, you know, you can put your pinky there if you will, but my hands aren't that big, so this handle still works just fine even if you have smaller hands. It's not a necessity to put your little finger down there, but for me on the little ones, the shorter handles, it helps with the control. Now, as it goes for availability of finding injector blades in your store, it's very much hit miss around here. I know the grocery chain, it's called Reese's around here. Sometimes one store will have them, sometimes they won't have them. There's another store that I go in and check from time to time. They never have them. So you go inside a Walmart, at least around where I am at, and you will not find them ever. Guess you might say not all Walmarts are created equal, if you will, on what they're carrying. In of recent history, I would say within the past 6 months, they've changed, they've rearranged their store to a certain degree. The aisles are a little bit wider, but now that means there's less product in the store. I mean, appreciate the wider aisles, but now that they've narrowed down their selection, they've gotten rid of, don't carry some items. In my opinion, this is a very smooth shaver. Not aggressive at all, in my opinion. Proraso. It does leave a film, more so than others. Might consider it a trade-off, if you will, if you're looking for an inexpensive soap, cream, crope. That this does the trick. It's creamy enough. It's not the slickest soap, but it is creamy. And in my opinion, when it comes to shaving with a DE injector, single edge, for me, for my shaves, this is adequate. When I notice that the biggest difference is I have to change how much water I put in them, put in the soap, in order to make sure I've got plenty of slickness with a shavette. But that's my experience, you know. Could be something to do with the water. Around here, they're having issues with water. I used to live in Broken Arrow, which I'm just, just so close to the city line there. Difference in between Broken Arrow and Tulsa, their line, I'm really close to that line. And Broken Arrow's got issues with their water. Allergy has, in other words, it has a particular taste and odor to it. So water quality might be a factor in how your lather whips up. I was down below. I've got a link. Here recently, I became the previous owner gave me the Artisan shaving community on Google Plus, and found an article that I was hunting for finally, and from Sharpologists about, for instance, water quality. But also, I'll post a link to that one question. Do you rinse your brush or just leave all the soap in there? And Sharpologist, in the article, it goes through and discusses how that came back about, if you will, and what it was. It was an old article, advertisement, I'm sorry, instructions maybe. At any rate, it was through Gillette, talking about not rinsing out your brush. Not rinsing out the brush. I can see the value in it. Daily shaver, you got only maybe 1 or 2 soaps, 1 or 2 brushes. In other words, and that's all you're using, and you're just rocking right in through your shave, just getting your shave on. I could halfway buy that. for me, rotating through my brushes like I do, I don't think this would be a feasible thing. But if you're using the same brush every day or every other day, leaving your soap in your brush may not be such a bad idea, especially if you're talking about trying to get your soap or your shaving cream to stretch further, as well as if you're a bowl lather, just leave whatever is in the bowl, especially like say if you're only using 1 or 2 different soaps or whatever, and if the scent is not an issue with you, you can stretch your shaving cream further. And the article it mentions, and nobody's really talking about or mentioning about the ill effect of leaving your shaving cream or soap in your brush, not rinsing it out. And once again, I'm pretty sure that if you look into it, it's referring to that you use your brush on a daily basis, the same one. Just something to think about, because I know for the first time I remember hearing about it, I was kind of like, no. But if you put it in context, in other words, in the way that it was meant to be used, for somebody that's only got one brush shaving with it every day, you know, I can understand that. Especially nowadays with synthetics, I wouldn't have a problem doing it with a synthetic. Your Badger brush that you spent a good sum of money on, I might be a little concerned about it. To me, it seemed like the Badger, could be wrong, not much of a Badger fan, don't know a lot about Badger brushes. I got a few, but I haven't shaved with them on in other words, for like 3 months consistently to be able to tell for sure about the bristles. They don't seem to be as sturdy as a boar. It's another reason why I like boar. Horsehair, of course, is in between those two, and I like my horsehair brushes, but I don't think I would, unless I don't know, even know if I was, even if I was shaving with it on a daily basis, I could bring myself to leave the lather in my brush without rinsing it out, my horsehair brushes. I wouldn't have a problem though with a synthetic or a boar. I think it was some Vogue boar brush that can't remember who was mentioning it, talking about it. Oh, Mark from Friendship Shaving. Yes, if I remember right. He was mentioning about the fact that the that brush won't turn loose with the shaving cream. I remember now. If you're shaving with that on a daily basis, I'm thinking that after a few shaves and not rinsing it out might change that. The dilemmas of shaving, huh? There's a little bit of feedback here. Just really do enjoy shaving with an injector. You probably don't see me shave with them that much because for me it's a easy shave. Supply injector. Got 3 plates. Find the plate that works best for you, especially if you're shaving like I do on a daily basis. And for me, it doesn't matter what plate. I'm good with any of the plates. But the fact that you're shaving on a daily basis, getting smooth, comfortable shaves, and with the supply injector. But the only thing that you need to have an extra one up just in case somehow or another that thumb bolt, if you will, nut, should drop it, can't find it, just disappears, hits the floor and you have no idea where it went to. You can get in it. They sell extra ones. Last time I remember, I think it's like in the neighborhood of $4 maybe. Not a whole lot of money. I have not, one day I will, but I have yet to order one. I probably will order it along with some blades from them. And I've got some from Ted Pella. I have a link down below. Package of 20 with the key. In other words, with the key, this is the key part that I'm referring to in case you're kind of new to this sort of thing. Get a pack of them. The going price is $4.90, $4.95, something like that. Like I said, it is a little odd because you don't know about your shipping, how much your shipping is going to run you until they send you an email and let you know. I guess you might say that's a fair warning there. And I think Douglas's website, I think he, the mini hair shaper blades, I think he sold out, if I remember right. Oh, and speaking of sold out, I have too much fun this morning. Razorine, which I'm going to start back up on Monday. Shave Nation has sold out. He's still taking orders though. He's got more coming in. Steve Davison was the one that brought it to my attention. I didn't know they had sold out. He had ordered one. It's, in case you might say it's on back order. It's going to ship next week when it comes in. But that is one thing I guess you might say. I got a little bit of stinging back here for some reason. I didn't shave that much back over there. That is one thing about new razors. Excuse me. How they have a tendency to sell out, because you can have, I guess you might say, they're first, how much product do you have available for in your first shipment? You're anxious to get it out. You know you're going to have another shipment coming in, and whether they actually sell out or not. Now, last time I looked, Douglas still had some injectors available. That was the last time I looked. You know how this is. Some of these shavers will sell out in an hour from start to finish. No time at all. In other cases, you know, it could, the demand might not be there, or the supply is a lot bigger than it is with other shavers. Just depending on what the situation is. But at any rate, if you're looking at getting one of the, I guess you might say, newer ones, $17.95, I think with shipping it's right around the $20 mark. I think it was only like $3 for shipping, and that was the only thing I ordered, was just the injector. I didn't order anything else. So if you're kind of wondering about the shipping cost and whatnot, $20 for an injector is not real bad. Because some of these that I showed you, depending on the condition, they will run me that much. Especially the, don't recall off the top of my head, the ones with the cases. I'm thinking the Hydromatics, I think, was spending near the $25 mark, and I paid out the, well, depending on how you want to look at it, I paid a pretty penny for the Schick Injector Adjustable. I paid far less for the PAL, and I just don't think that name recognition has a lot to do with the fact, the reason why you might find PAL injectors cheaper sometimes, especially on the adjustable side of things, unless somebody knows what they got. And PAL adjustable injectors are just fantastic shavers. Usually a great shape, might have a little bit of soap scum on them, just clean them up and they'll shave fantastic. I also don't have one. I used to keep one over here. Since I moved, I've rearranged a few things. Don't have quite the space I used to in the bathroom, but a PAL Injectomatic, usually you find those in pretty good shape. Won't say new, but light new, still very shiny. The parts that's supposed to shine, in great shape. I have no problems, no issue shaving with those. I've got 4 or 5 of those shavers. You can tell I like injectors. They're really easy to use. It's kind of like if you've ever shaved with a excuse me, a DE that has been, well, if you've seen the video with the Hydra, it's the interchangeable place that's 3D printed that I got, how the head is made and slanted already, set the angle for you, keep that up against your face and you're good to go. I think that's one of the reasons why I like the injectors, because it's really easy to find the angle and you just take off running with it. Once you figure out the angle, gentle pressure, Make sure your pre-shave, your pre-shave routine is up to snuff. Lather, post-shave, stay on top of your routine. In other words, keep it consistent. What's working for you. Get great shaves every day. Nicks, cuts, no weepers, no irritation. As it goes, if it's the first time you've seen these videos, this down here, it'll be like this all day. It's not irritated, it's just the way my neck is. And sometimes it'll get even redder, throughout the day for whatever reason, couldn't tell you. Then it'll lighten back up. Blood pressure is just fine. It's right where it should be. I don't have any idea why, excuse me, why I have what I have going on. Been like this for a good number of years, as far as I'm good to go. Had a great shave. Hope everybody enjoyed this. This was, this is not all of them. I really would like to get the early injectors. Those are just, those early ones, very first ones, just look awesome. But at any rate, oh my goodness, 40 minutes. This is probably one of the longest videos I've made. Hope everybody enjoyed this. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.